Hello everyone, Dave here, and in this video we are going to be learning about how I deal with dyslexia. So first and foremost, what is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a learning difficulty whereupon you can have extreme difficulties in reading and writing your own language. Simple spellings are very hard and almost impossible for you to do, and written work can be impossible to read. Better explain this. Imagine that when you look at a book, the words jump around the page. Nothing stays still. It moves, it flows. Nothing makes sense. Instead of reading it like once upon a time, it could be time once upon, or time upon once, or something along that variant. And then there's times when you can't even read the word that is on the page. And it can be a simple word like I said once, but you can't see the word once. It looks like O-N-E or E-N-O. Your brain doesn't recognize the written word. Same thing goes for spelling. Instead of letters in the right order, they can be in different orders. They can be muddled up. The first and last letter can be right, but the other ones, even if it has the right letters, can be completely the wrong way round. Or you spell it as it sounds rather than it is. You, for example, photograph, you put an F instead of a PH, which I've learned recently. Or fridge, you spell without a D because you can't hear the D. Silent letters are always harder for people with dyslexia. So anything with an E at the end, the magic E stuff, is very difficult for people with dyslexia to get their heads around because they can't hear it. We are a verbal and physical learner rather than a written learner. Same is really true for most of humanity, that we prefer to do and speak rather than write. Though there are a lot of people that do love to write, and brilliant to them. I often think that doctors have a form of dyslexia. Have you ever seen their handwriting and tried to read it? Yeah, no, I haven't been able to do that ever. But then again, my handwriting isn't exactly brilliant. It is messy, it is sloppy, it is full of grammatical and spelling errors. It is a difficult thing to do. So, how have I gotten over this? Practice. Practice and reading. And taking it step by step. I use rulers to help me read a line of words. Highlighters if I've got textbooks to highlight certain words that I don't understand or that I have difficulties with. Get people to check my work if I'm doing any sort of written work. Addresses are a real pain for me, and in my job I have to write addresses or spell addresses and surnames. Now, considering that surnames aren't exactly normal spellings at the best of times, they are unique family names that have been passed down for generations, then that is always a good bit of fun. But things like street and place, I have trouble spelling. And these are simple words, but yet something more complicated like collection or concentration or message, I'll be able to spell brilliantly. But not a simple word. But then I'll sometimes get a simple word right and then get the more complicated words wrong. Or get nothing right at all. Because I was say, I spell fridge without a D. I still do. Occasionally. F-R-I-G-E. Instead of F-R-I-D-G-E. Which is the correct way of spelling it, I think. Lovely dyslexia. See, I don't even know if that is the right way of spelling it. Because my brain doesn't work like that. Now, in this current society and the way that the world is going, things have to be written brilliantly, especially if you're applying for any sort of interview or any sort of job. Any sort of spelling mistakes or grammatical errors, your CV, your application form will immediately be thrown out. It's nothing personal against a dyslexic. It's just interviews take people's time. And time, if you're a manager or a boss of a company, is a very, very precious thing. Because you're so busy with lots of stuff. Interviews take half an hour to an hour, depending on what you're interviewing for. If you have if you have 20 applicants, you may have only time for an interview of 3 people over a day. And if you have 1 vacancy, you might decide to go with 9 interviews over that week. Or you may only have time for 3 interviews in the entire week because the rest of the week is filled up with board meetings, with product evaluations, with disciplinaries, with order stock rotation, with just the general management of that company. Payroll, all the fun stuff that goes with it. It's nothing against us. As I said, with dyslexia, it is extremely difficult to have any sort of written communication. Letters I sent to my family in Canada who don't have email. Oh, at least I don't have to handwrite them. Thank you very much. Writing applications and spell check. But spell check will not always get our spellings either. I remember that when I was writing a massive essays for my higher national diploma, there was lots of red lines. Oh, the red lines. And then when you click on the spell check, some of the words it goes to, yeah, we don't know what this word is. I'm sorry, we're a spell check program. This word does not exist in any language. It's like, yay, thank you very much. But as I say, the way that I've sort of grown is mainly due to reading books very, very slowly, getting help with the spellings from people who can spell, getting people to check my work when I need it checking. What has your experience been with dyslexia? Please do comment below. And till the next one, this is David. Knowledge is power, and we must use it wisely.